We got a bunch of leaks and they look awesome. We are so back, dude. Guys, my depression is gone. We have news. I've never felt this happy ever since my last video, which was 4 months ago when they showed the Mario movie. And even then, I still have my doubts. But this is huge. The Wizard Cat has given us good vibe. He's just throwing the craziest spells on us and just making us very happy because that's what we deserve. So now, obviously, I'm going to let you guys know, do not watch the video if you don't like leaks, okay? I am one of the probably few who hates leaks because I like to experience the surprise firsthand. It's kind of the same thing with spoilers. Even if it shows it in the trailer, I still don't want to know. Looking at you right now, the Mario Galaxy movie, am I right? They did say something that shouldn't have been known. But yeah, so here are the leaks that we have, and they are from a reliable source because it's Nate the Hate. In case you guys don't know, Nate the Hate, really reputable source when it comes to leaks. And well, he just so happened to have been on a podcast and talked about some of the things that we can expect from Nintendo. And I mean, they're looking pretty good. And it's not just Nate the Hate that's also doing it. There was also a previous leak that was really close to what Nate the Hate said, and it has even more information about Nintendo and what's going on over there. Hopefully, whatever is happening in those leaks happens because it's looking really good. But again, take this with a huge grain of salt. The Nate the Hate one, I think it's really possible. The second one might not be because, you know, there are some companies that say, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do this. And then actually we don't do it because it was a way to trick you into thinking we're going to do this, but we're actually going to fire whoever just said that we were doing that. So that way we know who the leaker is. So be careful about that. So let's start off with what Nate said. He said that no General Direct is going to happen until June of 2026, which is, you know, the usual E3 times. I will still call them that. And I mean, at this point, it's basically April, so we're usually supposed to get one in February or in March. It didn't happen. So, I mean, it's gonna happen in June. I think that's what's gonna happen. The next thing is, he said that a new Star Fox game is coming to Switch 2 in summer of 2026. Classic style, visuals are very good, online multiplayer, and it might be revealed within the next month. So that means we are not going to get it from a General Direct, which... I mean, I can go on a whole rant just saying how I prefer directs over just shadow drops like Nintendo has been doing for the past half a year. It is what it is, I guess. We're just going to get it shadow dropped apparently, and that's gonna suck, but that's just the way that it do be. Now, this is something that I've been really looking forward to, the revival of a dead franchise, and I think Star Fox is a really good one, especially with something that's been happening. Okay, I'm just gonna dance around it in case you haven't seen the news, but let's just say you're gonna find out about it soon enough. If you do know about it, it was revealed officially, but I don't want to talk about it because I think that it's fucked up that it was revealed officially, but whatever. It makes a lot of sense for a new Star Fox game to come out. But yeah, my only hopes for the Star Fox game, please don't make it Star Fox 64 again. I don't understand why we have this whole thing. We have animals in space, and for some fucking reason, it's the hardest thing to just create a plot. There's more to it than just, oh, I need to avenge my dad. You can do so many things. You tried doing that with Star Fox Adventure. Sure, it didn't work out financially. I think it was great, all right? But we'll get into that later, let's just say. Wink, wink. But yeah, visuals are good, apparently. Online multiplayer. And yeah, I mean, that's basically what I would expect from a Star Fox game. That's what I would like to see. There's not much that I can really comment on. Just hoping for some new ways to control the R-Wing. Probably use motion controls in order to aim rather than use the the Wii U gamepad. I haven't played Star Fox Zero, but I'm pretty sure it's very, very bad. And the gyroscope can definitely fix that issue. So yes, let's do that. The next thing that we got is, I think, release dates for the following, which is Splatoon Raiders, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, Rhythm Heaven Groove and Switch Sports, and he says that he's not sure if it's new or if it's a port. I mean, I'll get on that later. When it comes to Splatoon Raiders, it's about fucking time that we get something about it, right? Fire Emblem, we knew that it was coming out in summer. Excited about it. I mean, it looks good. Yeah. Rhythm Heaven, I'm glad that it's happening as well. I'm hoping that it comes out soon. And for Nintendo Switch Sports, I really hope that it's not just, you know, a whole new game. I hope it's a DLC. That would be pretty cool. When it comes to Switch Sports, I have really mixed feelings about it because I do want a Wii Sports-like game, right? But the thing is, with Nintendo Switch Sports, the problem was that there were 3 sports that were basically the exact same thing. Soccer was fun, but it was missing the Wii Sports feel to it, the quirkiness. It just felt like, oh yeah, that's a sports game. All right, put it on the Switch. Boop. And that's really all that there was to it. So I do hope in some sense that we can just go back to Woohoo Island or just something similar. Just something that makes me feel like it's fun, that I want to go on an adventure on a different island compared to just going to the mall. But that's all I can really say about it. After that, we got a Pikmin 4 Switch 2 edition. I don't really know why, but okay, sure, why not? And then the big news, here they come. So Ocarina of Time Remake for the Switch 2 is coming in the second half of 2026. There's not going to be a new 3D Mario in 2026, but it's coming in 2027. And then the Dusk Bloods are coming later in 2026. I guess I'll tackle that first because I know not many of you guys care about it, especially if you're Nintendo fans. I'm super excited about the Dusk Bloods. I've been on this grind of just going through all the Soulsborne games. And well, right now, the only one that I'm missing is Sekiro and Night Rain, which I have to play with a friend. And yeah, I'm just really excited. I'm hoping that it's a good game. I think Miyazaki learned a lot from doing Elden Ring, especially after Dark Souls 3. That's when you start seeing just how good the franchise has really become, and it just turned into the Souls games that we know and love today. Not saying that Bloodborne and Dark Souls 1 were bad games, but I mean, they could use some quality of life here and there. But now I'm just going off track. The Dusk Bloods, I'm pretty excited. Yeah, yippee. So, Ocarina of Time Remake, yes, that's good. That's a good thing. I don't really know what else to add to it. When I was playing it on the 3DS, sure, it was a remake in all technicality, but it just felt more like, hey, we made Zelda look good, and that's really about it. So with this whole remake thingy, which I have to make a video about, just to talk about what's warranted when it comes to having a remake, that sort of thing, I think Zelda Ocarina of Time is definitely one of those games that needs to be remade, just so that way they can have a whole legacy just until the end of time, if you know what I mean. Because I remember so many people were just complaining when they were saying, oh, a lot of people like Mario 64, but this game is like mid. Oh, well. I know one of my friends says that, which, by the way, their opinion is wrong. They're just bad at video games. But when it comes to Ocarina of Time, anyone can play it. Maybe Zelda Ocarina of Time might be the first game that is timeless. Now, that's not to downplay any games that's older than that, but what I'm trying to say is that Ocarina of Time is basically the landmark, the genesis of what makes games actual games. In terms of the story, the music, the characters, just the overall landscape of Ocarina of Time. And so, basically, remaking it would be a great idea to just give it another breath of fresh air, because it can use some quality of life improvements while still retaining that Ocarina of Time feel from the 1998. 1998. So yes, I'm all for it. Let's just make it visually beautiful. I think for the Switch 2, it's going to be great. On top of that, if we can get a new Majora's Mask remake, and just kind of fix some of the problems with the 3D version and then just paste it on with the 64 things that actually worked, that would be pretty cool. And also, I need my Wind Waker. I need my Wind Waker so that way I can play my top 3 Zelda games on just one console. Wind Waker HD, by the way, not the GameCube one. The GameCube one is on the Switch too. You know, the HD one just fixed basically everything wrong with it, so why not? Anyways, next, the new 3D Mario game. Yes, please. Let's just hope it's not Super Mario Titans. In case you guys haven't seen, there's this horrible leak that I've just seen floating around, just showing Mario super buffed. He became an absolute beast, and it's the stupidest fucking thing that I've ever seen. Now, some people are just saying that it's AI, some people are just saying it's Photoshop. I think it's a mix of both, or it's just someone who's really bored and just put all their time and effort into this. Let me tell you right now, it's... Please don't let the man cook ever again. I do like the creative vision, but outside of that, I just don't want it in my Mario game. That's really all I'm gonna say, okay? No disrespect to you. Just, yeah, no. Not in Mario, please. I don't have much else to say when it comes to a new 3D Mario game. I'm just hoping that it's something really good with a little bit of a slightly deep story, okay? Something a la Mario Galaxy with a new character that's just super cool and has some lore that would be very nice. Because the last time we got that was Rosalina in 2008, or whenever Mario Galaxy came out. And yeah, that's really all I can say. I mean, it's going to be a 3D Mario game. I hope it's good. That's all I can say. And now let's get on to the second leak, which is kind of tied with the Nate the Hate one, which is why it gives a lot of credibility. But at the same time, who knows? So this leak talks about a new classic Star Fox, which we talked about, an Ocarina of Time remake. Here it actually says that it's a new Switch Sports title. Our 3D Mario will be coming in 2027. And then there are some new things, such as a Super Metroid remake. And it's saying that it's, quote unquote, close. Now, personally, I'm not a huge Metroid guy. It's one of those where the fuck do I go kind of game. And I don't like those kind of games. It's okay if you like Metroid games. I'm not going to shit on you. And then after that, we got a new Wario Land, which is going to be possibly in 2027. And that's pretty cool. I gotta say, that's pretty cool. Wario has been sidelined for so long, just being put in his WarioWare games, and I'm kind of tired of it. Not to say that the games were bad, but I do like my platformers, alright? And what I would really hope to see would be a new 3D Wario game, Wario World 2. That would go hard. When it comes to 3D platformers, we have Mario, which is the basic one, just focused on platforming. Then after that, we have the new Donkey Kong game, which is focused on platforming as well as destroying, I guess. And then I think it would be cool to have this middle line where it's just Wario in the middle, because Wario's a tough guy. He beats up a lot of shit, right? Basically, it would be a platformer that's also a beat 'em up. So the worst way that I can put it, I think it would be cool to have a very simplistic version of the Sonic Unleashed night stages. I know that might sound crazy, but obviously they wouldn't take as long when it comes to beating up those little fucks or whatever. And I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that those stages were slow, they would actually be pretty damn good. So yeah, something along those lines is what I'm thinking. I think that would be pretty cool. Just give it a hear me out. And that's really it, okay? So a beat 'em up 3D platformer for Wario, that would be cool. But now I'm just kind of getting off track. A new Wario Land sounds pretty awesome. I don't think I've ever really played a Wario game that just made me disappointed. So you already know that shit's gonna go hard. And then after that, we have another Star Fox games, which is described as the quote-unquote adventure one. And I mean, guys, if you know, you know. If you played Star Fox Adventures on the GameCube, you know that it's a really, really good game. Not a good Star Fox game, but if you were hitting it with an open mind, alright, it kind of goes hard. So I am definitely hyped for this. I'm really hoping that we get a Star Fox Adventures 2. I don't really know what else to just say about it. I mean, a new Star Fox Adventure game just sounds hype. Maybe this time around, Fox can use his blaster, am I right? Eh? Fox, you're supposed to keep the planet protected, not destroy it. And apparently there's even more into certain kind of DMs referring to a Mario Kart World DLC, which in my opinion is probably the best thing that will happen to Mario Kart World, because in case you haven't seen that one video, which got a bit of hate, and it's kind of understandable, but at the same time, you guys didn't really care about my fucking opinions. But yeah, my biggest gripe with Mario Kart World was the roster, just heavily tilting towards a more funny roster than an actual roster that is kind of timeless. So that's my biggest problem. You guys might not agree. I don't really care. That's on you, really. But yeah, let's just hope that we get Kamek back. We need to get that Diddy Kong, am I right? Maybe get a funny Croc, maybe. I don't really care all that much about characters outside of Mario, like Link and all that. Those are cool, but I kind of want to focus on the Mario side first. And also, I'm hoping we get more courses because of, you know, the classic just driving in a straight line kind of thing. Yeah. I mean, I know that there's different ways to approach a line in Mario Kart World. That's the whole thing. But for me, I didn't really see it. Also, another thing about the Metroid remake is that it will have a pixel art style, which I find it kind of odd, especially since Metroid Dread, that one was in 3D. The Metroid 2 remake was in 3D. I think it would just make sense to keep it in 3D. Because that way, you get the whole thing of just being able to aim around as much as you want. You know, that would have been cool, but apparently not. But again, that's just my opinion. I'm not a Metroid fan, so who knows. And staying on the topic of Metroid, apparently there's another Metroid, a Metroid 6, which would be coming out in 2027. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Yep. But yeah, that's really all there is when it comes to the leaks. It looks really good. If all of this happens, I would be through the roof. We're getting an old franchise revived. We're getting a ton of Zelda and Mario stuff. And Metroid fans are going to be eating good, which is really surprising because, believe it or not, Metroid is not a huge franchise. It does not sell as much as a Mario or a Zelda, duh. So it's really weird for me that they would push so much when it comes to smaller franchise, which, by the way, kind of mixes in with the whole Star Fox thingy. Because let's think about it, you haven't gotten a new Star Fox game. Well, technically, I guess you can say since the SNES Mini came out, but an actual Star Fox game since 2014 with Star Fox Zero. And so you're basically putting all your eggs in one basket on just the fact that we have this one thing coming up, okay, that I'm not going to talk about, that was officially revealed and should have kept a secret, right? Nintendo, right? And I mean, sure, it's going to give a lot of traction thanks to it, right? But I don't think it's going to be a huge hit, especially the casual market to getting into Star Fox. But either way, I mean, we're getting some sort of news. So to me, I'm pretty happy. Even if it's fake, it just gives me some hope, okay? Hope and cope. So let me know what you think. Are you disappointed with these leaks? Do you think that it's not enough? Do you think that it's too much? Do you think it's too good to be true? We must think about this. But yeah, with that, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Just goodbye.